Hey guys!
Hello, how are you? This is Sayaka y Joscha and my name is Joscha. Nice to have you here again or for the first time.
Welcome to yet another episode from our mini sequences in three steps. These sequences are for your inspiration on the dance floor to pimp up your dance. If you're more interested in the deeper techniques that we show, you can check out the bodywork series that we have on our YouTube channel.
Right. What we have prepared today is some turn of the proposer around the interpreter, then an Americana in the middle and a little turn of the interpreter around the proposer. We just call it Americana and turning or turns. Okay, and we will go to 3 steps, but first we will show you the whole sequence.
Yes, we jump right into it. Enjoy. Number 1.
Yes. Very simple but important, and as it's so simple you will notice that the details are just enhanced, so pay attention to the details in your dance. We want you to just walk and arrive clearly on an axis. So I'm walking, and now pay attention to really getting onto the ball of your foot. And what we will do now is I try to respect her axis and go around without making her pivot. So her base stays around one direction and around the other direction. Just a little bit. I can also take 2 steps, very small. And then I line myself again, and we continue walking. The same thing do on the other side to feel both axes.
Good. Important hint for the leaders,
Yes.
for the proposers.
Right, and here we go right to why we do this exercise, because it looks so simple. I need to show you this in this way. Let's suppose we have been walking and I arrived here. My axis is on this foot, so on the left, and Sayaka's axis is also on this one.
Right.
In a body, you can feel where exactly the axis is, if it's more on this side or more on that side of the body. So if I'm standing in front of her here, now I want to go around her, and I don't go around the shoulder, keeping the distance to the shoulder, because then I would be going like an oval shape, but I go around a pole that is on her right foot. That means I'm coming quite close to her free side. Yes. And on the other side I need to keep some distance. To really check out, to feel it's all around the place where she's standing. Then the other thing is for the proposers, just make sure that you move continuous. Don't do sudden movement. It's not too from the top, but it's always good for, feels a bit like Tai Chi or Qigong movements.
A small little addition is that I feel in Joscha's embrace that it is kind of stabilizing me in order to show me not to move in with his steps. So he's very grounded in his steps, but his embrace is kind of has a little bit of a lift. So I feel like, okay, he's giving me this suspension in my body in order not to keep moving.
Yeah, so I'm I'm not holding her up, but my hands are respecting her axis. And to achieve that, I think what she will feel is that my hand from my center is staying up, that I'm not collapsing.
Yeah? So you lift with air.
But it's not so much that you would lift any weight, it's just that the skin on her side is rather feeling an upward direction than a downward direction. Okay?
That's very sweet. That's perfect. I hijacked his moment.
Very good.
And we don't
We
go
love
too
these
high.
details because we need to know what it feels like from this side, okay? So
we
let's
can
go to you. Now,
Very good.
important.
So, but it's basically what we said. When we arrive, we ground ourselves down and make sure your upper body is with a little elevation. It has this little suspension, but stay flexible. So when you're just walking around me, I want to respect the space that we create with our embrace between us. And I also go there with my eyes. But especially from the ribcage I turn. And I feel like there's a limit in my body. The moment I arrive at my limit, I feel my limit is coming closer. I even relax my standing leg a little more to ground a little more down. So the spine will have more space to have a little more rotation.
Now it's time for me to hijack, please. So when she relaxes her base leg, that means that the joints get soft, but the muscle activity is a little bit higher. Okay? So don't lock your knee and like wait what's happening, but relax the joints and activate your muscles so you can be sure that you stay grounded.
Very good. That was it. Let's do it one more
We
time
will show
together.
it to you one more time. So we will do walking, arriving. Make sure you're grounded. You go around her and respect her axis. Try not to move her away and feel how she reacts in the body. Then you continue walking and maybe check out the other leg sometime. Here you go again around the axis. This time it's somewhere else. And you do it really slow. And then we continue. Okay? That was step number 1. A weird movement that you probably won't do so many times without the end result that is coming later in the step. Step number 2. Okay, what are we gonna do in step number 2? We will use what we have achieved and felt in step number 1, but we will bring it to a concrete movement. That means we will start with a side step. Now she is here. I go with a forward step and a side step around her, and when I feel that the embrace is on its limit, I ground myself, transfer my weight and turn her. Then I do 1 step, 2 step, ground to turn, and we can do that for many times, but we want to continue dancing a little bit. Good. Important for me. I have already said some parts of it now in the explanation, so what I can understand for myself is that when I go around her, now that it was a side step and I have to start with a forward step. If she is right in front of me here and my foot is turned in, it would be like this, then to pass my foot I would run into her axis. So it may be helping to have this a little turned out so I can pass here and have a really round movement around her axis. Yes, round, continues, I feel my weight and I make sure that I relax my right side in order not to push her out of the axis first. Then make sure the change continues so you feel the elasticity in her embrace, because the beginning of the rotation for her is easy and then it will get more dense, and there's a limit where she needs to adapt her lower body, and we don't want to break that limit too early, but we want to actively influence the moment of pivot. So let's see. Side, forward, and I feel already, now, okay, there's a limit. So now I need to move actively and turn her. Here I over-rotate her, then I do 1, 2, and I'm in front of her again, and we can continue. Okay? You can do that for many times, but not too much, because it's just an exercise.
Yes, and I get dizzy. No, just kidding. Fast. Basically, it's forward pivot, but we feel it's very wide. We have a lot of rotation. We need to understand where our limits are in our body and how to respect them, but not getting very hard or stiff. So what does that mean? In the beginning it's very easy to rotate. Then when it gets more difficult, what usually happens, and we don't want you to do that, no, is that we collapse. We collapse and it's like this. My hips start turning, my belly is out, and I receive everything in my shoulder and my lower back. In order to avoid it, what we need to do is, the further we go and we feel it getting harder, I more emphasize on my standing leg and let it all kind of grounding down, and my center is very active, means belly button in towards your spine, and try to think it from the ribs. From this part I'm touching here, it's kind of my lower ribs going, and this is why the arm goes. Yeah, it's not only the arm, so there's a limit early. So we need this.
And like this, her shoulder feels very relaxed, because you don't want this pinching feeling. That is only when you get tense in your shoulder blade.
Good.
I take the limit. Sorry.
Very good. And from there we ground, screw down and pivot.
So we will do it one more time. Side, around, tension increases, rotate. Around, around, rotate. Around, around,
very good. This was step number 2.
So you had 2 quite basic exercises. Very, very important. If you feel that you're interested in more details of the pivot technique or leading it, check out our videos on the technique, Tango online body work. Okay? Now we're gonna use this, what you just tried, to make it to step number 3, which is the whole sequence. Step number 3.
We got to the whole sequence, you made it, you're almost there.
Yes. Now it's the whole sequence, and the first 2 parts were just exercises. So we will take some time to check out the steps as well. Side. I go around, around, and turn her, and we do a forward step both to end up in the Americana position. I let her come around me, change my weight, and we end up in a cross.
Which you didn't see, but I crossed. I promise.
Okay, let's do it one more time very slowly, because we haven't done any sequence so far. Side. 1, 2. Turn her, over rotate. Americana. Change. And I go towards my left. She's going towards her left. Slowly transferring away into the floor and out and across.
For the proposers, what's important here? Let's go.
Let's see. We use what we have learned. So I go
The
around
beginning is the same.
here. But now I make sure that I feel this axis, which we know already, and I don't get irritated if she's doing something with her free leg because it's free. I don't want to control it right now. So I go around, around, and now activate your center to pivot her. And right from coming here, we let the energy go through the floor towards a forward step. I come a little bit more to the front, and then my embrace is going down, shoulders active, down, and I come to the back. So she gets space to pass me. In this situation, it feels like, okay, I cannot go there, but if I go through the ground, I can change my weight and she will turn. I change my weight. Still my legs are open. Then I go forward a little bit, feel, okay, she's changing her weight to the back step, and through the floor, arriving in a cross. One detail. There is some movement of upper body to lower body, which we always use in the turn. Now, after the first turn, we go low and into the Americana. So it's this little elevation that Sayaka said in step number 1. Upper body, lower body, and through. I exaggerate, but it works good like this. Now, I come to the front. My dissociation is a lot towards her, and now I turn a little bit so she comes around me. Through the floor, change the weight, and out we go. Yes, it's a lot of management through the feet to pay attention to using the feet and not so much the arms, because everything will be just of the relation of the two bodies, not so much manipulation. Alright, body interpreters.
Good. The beginning stays quite the same as we had in step number 2. So we had the side step, the 2 steps around me, where I can play with my free leg, or in this case I just leave it out there a little bit, and we come into the Americana. This is important here. Ground yourself down. Don't push out of your legs, so you will kind of have to balance more, but let your pelvis really drop down. The knees can bend a little bit too, and you will feel immediately that your upper body gets more relaxed and therefore more flexible, and I can rotate better towards Josh. So, coccyx down. From here, we close. Josh goes first, and then I feel he's helping me changing the weight towards the front step.
I'm coming back a little bit so she gets space, right?
And here, through the standing leg, we go side. And the small pivot on the right leg, and we go into the cross. Yes. In this, after the Americana, in this second turn, it's very important to keep this together space that we have between us in mind. Yes, because this is where it gets round, this is where it stays connected. So, we have the Americana.
You want to do it the other way? Maybe then let's see better.
From here. And my upper body already, and he's going a little bit behind me there. So I'm a little bit like over rotated in my upper body. It's quite far rotation. And from here, I close this space. It's very important. Right side closes the space in, and I make it round again.
This feels amazing for me.
Because we don't want to, I show you the wrong way to do it. We don't want to go out here, because this will be out of the embrace. I look for my partner, which is giving me the direction, so I surround him. And from here we're back on track.
Okay.
Very good.
I feel that very good.
Thank you.
I noticed that in this position of the Americana, can we check this good? Just a moment. In this position, there's always my leg in the way, right? So if I'm here, she cannot really pass it. Then I go back a little bit, and when she's not caring so much about the leg, it will happen all naturally. So she comes from her body around, and the leg just goes where the body goes. Okay? Using the standing leg, of course. Now it's my part to go around her, to turn, and we come up. Alright.
Very good.
There you have a lot of information in the steps.
Practice.
Try to figure it out, and if you get stuck in some moments, go and try out the technical videos that we uploaded.
And also you can write a comment below the video here and ask, okay, this is a difficulty for me. How can I solve it? We will be happy to answer that.
Yes. We will do it one more time in a little timing, so I will count you through. Okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For example, this was using a lot of time now. In Tango you have it a bit slower, but you can take a lot of time and decide in going faster or slower when you have the control of the lower body, what Sayaka said. Yeah, feet active and wiggle in the hips.
Good.
Alright.
So guys, we hope you enjoyed that little video.
If so, give us a thumbs up, put a like underneath, and if you have any questions or just let us know how it went for you, write a comment. We are happy to read from you, and there will be more videos coming up in the future. So what do? Subscribe, lower right corner, and we will see you again next week or in the next video.
Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.